That's what they call it. I'll have my weekends. I'll have say 2 shows because my weekends I'll work. Like I have my other job that I do Friday, Saturday.
Run 5 on the video stream now.
Okay.
All right. So
Just give me the countdown. Okay. Ready to go?
you're ready. You're live.
All right. Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you. Welcome to Anything Goes. And this week, we got two of my favorite music people. And I know a lot of music people. So introduce yourself, my brother. Like, we'll go from here to here.
All right, I'm Rod Gillis. Been putting on shows since 2006. Last 10 years in Edmonton, ran Deviate. Now I'm working with a few venues around town.
Beautiful. Yourself?
Yeah, I started booking about 11 years ago. Booked for a variety of rooms and do some publicity and management on the side.
Dope. And you all know me. Like, and you know,
Everybody does.
my man Mike is in the back there.
You get your name in there.
Oh, Dan Lins.
Hey.
Yeah, like, there you go. Like, yeah, and again, as I said, we're going to be talking today about like just music culture, the local scene, the venues, and just things that I think that we haven't really tapped into in a long time. Like, because like on all levels for the scene, and like what can we do to better like the scene and to influence it more in a proper process, and that's basically where can we go with it, right? Because like I find like over the last few years, it's like 1 minute it'll be up, and the next it just drop like a bag out of your hand.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like I don't know why like if it's like for a city that's expanding so rapidly, for instance, like I mean like why can't we basically maintain a full-fledged scene? You know what I mean? Like, what the amount of talent we have.
Oh, for sure.
Like, well, what do you think?
Well, I think it's like, like one of the things when you always hear them searching for other planets, they got a thing they refer to as the Goldilocks zone. I think Edmonton can't find that. And it hasn't found that, I think, since like probably in the early 90s. In the early 90s, there seemed to be just enough venues.
Yeah.
There seemed to be some really good local, and I mean, this is all genres, but there was enough good local stuff and just seemed the right amount of venues where this place was doing that. They did it well, another place did it. These days we got so many places, we're all drawing from the same well.
Yeah.
We got so many talented artists. You could have 3 of the same type of show going on the same night, 3 different spots.
Yeah.
And everybody's obligated to go to their buddy's show, but somehow we can't get everybody
Together.
on the same stage. But at the same time, you got 20 people trying to
Do this.
be in the biz, and no
Yeah.
one's going to tap out. So it's
Thank you. So,
Stuff.
like, the Gold, that's the first I heard that, the Goldilocks,
zone.
like a zone.
Like the
I've
story,
never
the
heard that.
porridge is too
Yeah.
hot, too cold. When it's just right, boom.
It's like, yeah, what do you think, though?
I think urban sprawl's hurt a lot too. The downtown density and maybe the density in certain populated areas, it's getting more spread out. So I think in the 90s you would notice there would be venues like Cowboys and Ezzy's and like there was 5 bars in West Edmonton Mall, and they were
Yeah.
all successful. They were all doing well.
Yeah.
But now you don't see any bars outside of downtown and White Ave because that's where the most populated areas are. changing of people not wanting to drink and drive and stuff like that.
That's big. We're growing up.
Yeah, we're growing up, but people aren't willing to drive from Fort Saskatchewan or St. Albert anymore to go to a bar on a Saturday night because it's going to cost them too much to Uber either way. Or
Yeah, I guess that's that's one way to look at it. Because like I look at White Ave, right, and with the I think there's been a decrease in bars on the Ave, right?
especially live music, the
Yeah.
nightclubs still seems to.
Just-
The
okay.
nightclub's always rebranding to go with the times, but a live music venue, you're just living and dying off shows.
Yeah, right, and like that, and to me, I'm like, growing up in the '90s, like we had a great opportunity to actually see whether it was punk rock or hip hop was just the baby on the scene.
It was in there, yeah.
But you could find great shows, right? And I think that if the population of our city have increased so rapidly, right, that you would think that more would occur, But to a degree, I find that the government, the city government, is still behind in
Yeah.
a sense,
Totally.
right? And it's more of a battle pieces to it,
Yeah, I think in the 90s, we haven't had the same cost of living adjustment. So in the 90s, shows were still $5 and $10 advance. But, how would it cost to rent a venue or lease it from the landlord?
Yeah.
Those costs have all gone way up as opposed to wasn't in the 90s.
What it was,
And then,
yeah.
bars used to be successful on $2 pints and $1 highballs at one point in time. Now pints are $7.50. So
Oh, yeah.
so the cost of the show has stayed the same, but everything else has gotten more expensive. So
Everything that's around it, eh?
Yeah.
That's super intense. So, but before we start going any further, now, why did you all get involved in the music? I'll start with you.
I got involved because I don't like New Year's Eve. I always thought it was an overhyped holiday where you spend too much money to get more dressed up than you want, and you don't have as much fun as you plan.
Yeah.
So a band that I liked from Victoria posted who wants to have us play New Year's Eve. So on a whim, I kind of flew them out, put on a show, and it went well. So then I was booking their Alberta shows for a while, and then through them got other touring contacts, and then eventually after booking enough locals to open those shows, I was getting asked to do all local shows.
Oh, okay.
So-
That's cool.
So kind of by accident.
Yeah. Sometimes, they say nothing's really accident. It all comes when it's need to be,
Yeah.
right? That's the thing. What about you, Ron?
Well, it's actually funny because my story is very similar to Dan's. I was in Red Deer. I'm in a punk band called Groovy Rookers. We started in 2004. So we'd usually get on these bills. So we were the known band because there were no other bands really there. There was us, the Get It Ons. There was a couple of other bands.
Yeah.
But then there was a band called Spread Eagle from BC. They were on Long Shot Records, which is one of my buddy's labels. Started in Vancouver, and now he's out in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
And he does worldwide,
Yeah.
kind of punk and oi kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just saw these dudes were on that label, and I made the connection. Said, "Oh man, you're on my buddy's label, of course." And I didn't put on shows at the time, but I had one show that did good. So the owner of the bar, he pulled me into the back, and he took out the old calendar, and he said, "Man, book more of this shit." So, and then after that, I had Andrew WK, Big John Bates,
Oh, okay.
and then just from there, for Red Deer for a while, I was like, because everyone wants to play Red Deer. It's between Edmonton and Calgary, so
yeah.
it's that one stop. But it's such a, and you could have a good show, but you'd have to have it on a Thursday or a Sunday.
Yeah. One of the because the Friday, Saturday is the bar night.
And the beauty of Red Deer, though, unlike Edmonton, there wasn't 20 shows that all had good bands.
True.
If you have one show, say if DOA's in Red Deer, everybody's boom, we're there.
Yeah.
It's not like we got DOA here and SNFU's across the street. That's Edmonton. That's punk shit, but anyway,
No,
it's all the same
Mhm.
when you get down to the nuts and bolts of shows and promoting. And
No, because it's just again, nothing's accident. When it's just a fate. I find the universe good people.
oh
I
yeah,
mean, because just the same as though you'll accidentally step into it, you could accidentally say, "Fuck it, I'm out."
oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
But it's the people that keep you going, because I think a lot of dudes
Like,
that never did it are only